Hey guys, this is Boss Lady V coming back with another video. Today we're going to be recapping the Braxton's Family Values. This is their new season. I believe this is the first episode, and it truly was it pulled at your heart. If you ever dealt with a loss of a loved one, it was a hard episode for you to watch. For me, I kept walking out of the room because it was about to get me. I'm dealing with grief myself. I lost my dad 4 years ago in the midst of COVID, and you know how different things were then to be able to have funerals, to be able to see your loved ones. So I never have got over the guilt of not being there when he took his last breath because I wanted to be there because you want your loved one to know that you love them and it's okay for them to get peace, to get the rest that they have worked so hard for and that God has decided it's time for them to have. So the episode was them recapping. They met with a therapist, and she was getting them to express their emotions from the loss of their sister Traci. And I think a lot of us still deal with that because it was like so suddenly, and she was so vibrant and she was so full of life. She was so funny, and she was my favorite one outside of Trina. And it was just so devastating to hear that she lost her life. And when they were all sitting down, it seemed like Tony, Tamar, and Towanda have a wall built up, and they're not willing to release those emotions. And maybe that just could be because they're on camera. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how they feel. This is just what I'm assuming from watching. But when the therapist was asking them to, basically how they were feeling, how they were dealing with it, uh, they were kind of quiet. And so when Trina was the only one who decided to express herself at that moment, and boy, Trina was just a ball. She just bawled her eyes out. And baby, let me tell you, it had me in tears. It had me just reminiscing on how I felt, how I still feel. And it was hard for me to watch. It's already hard for me to watch somebody cry in the first place, whether it's for a good reason or a bad reason. I just naturally cry. It could be on a soap opera or a TV movie. If I see someone crying, it makes my eyes tear up. So this was really just a lot for me to watch. I think it was a lot for my husband to watch because his mother died right before my dad. So we never did get over these emotions that we have. You never will. Don't never let nobody tell you that you need to get over it. Do not never let nobody tell you how to grieve because everybody grieves differently. But when Trina was talking, it was a lot. It was a lot. Let's take a listen.
You say, and it is not actually really therapeutic. Well, I'm not free at all. From? From what, Trini? Anything. And Towanda was right. Towanda said, Trina, you're not strong enough to watch Traci take her last breath. And I was like, Towanda, yes, I am. You can't tell me what I'm strong enough to do. Trina and I was there. I thought I was strong enough, but I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong enough to see it. I know how sensitive Trina is, and I knew that wouldn't be good for her. Those are the things that will scar you for the rest of your life. Almost like feel all of Traci's energy just go as you see. Literally, it almost went inch by inch by inch by inch. And I see it almost. I'm sorry.
That was, even just hearing it and hearing the emotions that Trina is letting out, it's difficult for me to listen to. So I know for a lot of people, it was just heartfelt. It was just devastating to even watch Trina ball out like that. And me, I was just so surprised that her sisters and her mom could sit there while she was bawling out. She releasing all these emotions and this hurt and this pain. And I think I saw Towanda might shed a tear, but Tony and Tamar, they was just sitting there looking at Trina. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I know I'm not blaming them and I'm not going after them. I'm just saying it was just amazing that they were able to sit there and not break down either, because if it was me, baby, I couldn't be able to no comfort for her, because I would have been just falling out all over the place. I know for myself, I try not to tell people how to grieve, because I'm not the one to cry all the time, but I have moments where I can get very teary eyed, or I can become very emotional, but I have trained myself on how not to show it, because I feel I know I got to be strong for my mom, and I got to be strong for the rest of my family. It's a lot of things that personally take care of for the family and for my mom. So if I break down, who's going to do it? Now, during that time where we were planning a funeral, I never shed a tear. I think I cried a little bit the night he passed. Um, but after that, I didn't cry again too. I had to go view the body and make sure everything was okay. Then I cried a little bit. But then at the funeral, it just hit me like, bam. I couldn't take it. It was so much. And just to see your loved one laying there, and for me, it was my dad. Like, my dad wasn't no ordinary dad. He was there. He took care of us. He provided for us. So when you have that bond with somebody, I know Trina always used to try to keep Traci afloat. She was the one I felt like was the closest to Traci. So I know it probably hurts her differently than it might hurts the other, especially Tamar. So in the midst of Trina crying and expressing herself, um, Tracy's son and their dad were on Zoom. But in the midst of that, Tracy's son got interrupted by the police coming to arrest him, saying he had a warrant for his arrest. I think he had some type of riffraff with his ex-wife, and they're still going at it, and they were battling. I think it was wrong for them to do that while he was in the midst of filming. How did they even know he was filming? Was it set up, or was this really true? So Tamar didn't know what was going on. So Tamar decided to throw a temper tantrum like she always do when something don't go her way. I know for myself, every time something go on that I have to take care of for my mom, I don't express it to everybody else, because it's not their concern, or I don't feel like maybe it's something that they can really take care of or they can handle. No harm intended, not saying you're not important or your feelings don't count. Everything ain't for everybody. Period. So Tawanda came back and she was talking, and she got to saying how she's numb and she got boundaries, and I think she was more or less pointing that out to Tamar, because Tamar just couldn't sit still. She had ants in her pants. She had like she allegedly got ADHD, because she just started blurting out stuff, laughing all loud, and just acting like a child. So I was just amazed that in the midst of that moment, as Trina is releasing that, and that moment for her to release was so important. And Tamar kind of robbed Trina of that. You have to release those feelings, or you will never be able to move on in the next stage of grief. And so let's listen to.
I don't recall. It wasn't my birthday because you didn't call me. My birthday September. Here we are in March. I am in a space. I am in a space of I'm just focusing on my relationship and whoever's in my household. I'm focusing on my children. I'm focusing on my relationship. Trina in your household? Tony's in your household? They call me. I talk to them every day. Girl, you don't answer the phone. That's not true. Stop. Let's be specific. Did you call me yesterday? I did. Actually. Did I answer it? Well, because we're taping now. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Oh, when you called me, every time you called, that is not every time you called, I answered. Every time you text, I answer. That's a fact. Okay. That's a fact. So I'm a liar. No, you said that. I didn't call you that. That's the word that you're using. Everyone knows that I always have receipts. But what's the point of showing it? My word should be my word. Facts are facts, and words can't change it. What she will do is she'll give you the carrot and move forward. Okay, this is how we go. Okay, that now forget it. Okay, this is how I feel. Okay, yeah, forget it. So either you're going to go here or you're not. I just did. No, you did not. Yes, I did. No, you did not. What's happening between you and her right now? If a person gives me something and tells me this is how I'm feeling, I respect where they are. That's it. Completely. No, but the reason why is because you can't speak for me. Is what I'm saying. For you. Sure, you said because you just said. This is exhausting. No, she's not. I'm listening to every word that you're saying to me. Too. You said no, she's not, and then you took it back and said I'm not speaking for you, but you in fact did. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
That was exhausting to even hear Tamar just laughing out loud obnoxiously, trying to get attention. I think in that moment she wanted attention because everybody was so focusing on how Trina was feeling. At the same time, I believe Towanda was being microaggressive towards her. She knew that she was making statements that could activate Tamar because nobody else in the room had she been numb to. Nobody else in the room did she have the need to set boundaries with. So you were talking at Tamar, so you wanted to get her activated, and then once she activated, now you want to put up boundaries again. Well, you cross your own boundaries by activating her. You know how she is. Why say certain things to get a reaction out of her? And I do think Tawanda was wrong in that moment. I think they both were. They both wanted a reaction out of each other instead of saying, "Hey, sister, I feel like this. Why are we not close? Why do we not talk every day? You talk to Trina and Tony every day, but you don't talk to me. You talk to mommy, but I'm the only one you haven't talked to in 6 months. What have I done to make you feel the need not to want to talk to me?" And then Tawana should have proceeded to say, "Well, Tamar, the way you're acting now is the reason why I put you on pause. I don't have time for that." But the mama got activated after that, and I felt it's just disrespectful to even argue in front of her because she's never going to ever stop grieving the loss of her daughter. You never stop grieving the loss of a loved one, yet alone your child. I don't know how that feels, and I don't want to know how that feels, but I can only imagine how that feels. And to argue in front of her about petty stuff is disrespectful. So I'm glad she got activated and told them to, like, basically enough is enough. And one thing I do respect about all those girls, when Miss Evelyn talk, baby, the room gets quiet. They respect her. They don't try to give no rebuttal. They listen and they take heed at that moment. But let's see how these next few episodes go. Let's see how the season go. I hope Tamar and Tawana find a bridge to come back towards each other. I hope they all find a way to get peace with each other because every season they arguing, and Tamar is in the midst of the argument with one of her sisters. I hope they have a sit down with each other and really express what it is that keeps them at odds. You know what it is, but sometimes you have to come on out and say it so you can address it and move on. And stop arguing and fussing and fighting in front of their mother. She doesn't want it. She's up in age now. So do that when she's not around. Don't even let her know you guys are fussing and fighting. That's my opinion. But for now, we just gonna always keep Traci in our memory, keep the family in our prayers, wish them peace and positivity, and let's move on. For now, that's all I have. I'm going to try my best to watch and recap the season. Yeah, that's all I got for now. You guys have a good Saturday. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.